It's the Dodgers and the Reds. The first of 4 between these teams and the first of 81 in the regular season here at Dodger Stadium. Welcome inside. Welcome back to a good old friend. Look who the cat dragged in. Orr Hershiser is back. Baseball is back here at Dodger Stadium, and it never ceases to be old, does it? It'd be great, does it?
This is amazing. You know, for the players, this is embedded in your memories the rest of your life. When you have a home opener with this kind of celebration on the field, your name's announced, the goosebumps hit you everywhere.
It'll be Walker Buehler taking the ball for the Dodgers just like he did on opening day in Colorado. He's got the ball here for the home opener, facing off for the Cincinnati Reds as the Dodgers trying to move to 4-2 on the season, coming off the 3-2 road trip. And we've got first pitch just around the corner from here in LA.
Fans, at this time we ask that you please rise if you're able.
Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Arco. Quality top-tier gas for less. Now accepting credit cards.
This former Dodger grew up in nearby Whittier and was a 5-time All-Star before joining the team in 2006. That year, he earned his 6th ticket to the Midsummer Classic. And on September 18th of that season, he hit one of the most memorable walk-off home runs in a come-from-behind classic played right here at Dodger Stadium. Let's hear it for Nomar Garciaparra. This player's Dodger debut was quite memorable. It was August 25th, 2012, when he crushed a 3-run home run in his very first at-bat here at Blue Heaven on Earth. He's a 6-time All-Star who played 6 seasons with the team. Welcome back to Dodger Stadium, Adrian Gonzalez.
Started his broadcasting career in Ecuador when he was 15 years old. When he was 20, he boarded a German ship that was transporting mostly bananas and rode it through the Panama Canal to Los Angeles. There was only one Spanish radio station in the U.S. at the time. So while he waited for his big break to chase his dream, he spent 6 months working in a factory building fences. And then he finally got that opportunity. He was hired by KWKW, which happened to purchase the Spanish language rights to Dodger games. And in 1959, they assigned this legendary broadcaster, who is in his 64th and final season as the greatest ever to do it on the Spanish language side. And throughout the first pitch today, the legendary Jaime Jarrín. Julio Urias there to catch his ceremonial first pitch. Ahead of this home opener, the Dodgers and Reds ready to play the first of 4 tonight. Dodgers coming off that 3-2 road trip. Back-to-back wins in Minneapolis after dropping 2 of 3 in Colorado. And of course, we've got a perfect night to open the home schedule. High 60s, light blue skies darkening. Will be under the lights. A rare home opener at night here at Dodger Stadium, and the first game in Dodger blue here for Freddie Freeman. Entire suite of Freddie Freeman's family here to take this one in. Let's go down to the field. Kirsten Watson has the manager, Dave Roberts.
Thanks, Joe. Dave, happy opening day. How special is it to have all of these fans back here and baseball back in Dodger Stadium?
It's so good to be back home, Dodger Stadium. This is our opening day. You've got 47,000 plus fans here. Here in the Let's Go Dodgers. It's great. Walker's ready to go. It's going to be a fun night.
All right, let's do this. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
All right, Kirsten, thanks to Dave for taking a minute for us as the Dodgers and Reds meet up for the first time here in 2022. Let's take a look at the Reds lineup. They come in at 2-4. Just got swept by the Cleveland Guardians. This is the reigning Rookie of the Year who's going to lead things off. That's Jonathan India. Tyler Naquin bats second. He's in right. Then Jake Fraley. Joey Votto just keeps on doing it. Cleanup man and first baseman. At catcher, Tyler Stevenson. Aquino is in left field. Moustakas, an LA native, at third. The former Dodger Kyle Farmer is now the everyday shortstop for Cincinnati. And Colin Moran in his first season with the Reds bats ninth. Take a look at the Audi player profile. Walker Buehler won the opener in Colorado, and now he comes back here to Dodger Stadium, where he is 22-6 with a .230 in his career. Earl.
Chasing Sandy Koufax there with that .792 winning percentage. Sandy's 57-50 in this ballpark, Dodger Stadium, a place where we're celebrating the 60th anniversary, and a place where Walker Buehler is very much at home.
27 years old out of Lexington, Kentucky, and he said there's something about taking the ball, wanting to be responsible, wanting to be the guy on the hill for those biggest games. One of his big motivations. Off we go for the first time in 2022, the greatest ballpark there is, and strike one on Jonathan India. Dodgers coming off that 7-0 win yesterday. Spectacular performance from Clayton Kershaw. And winning both those games. Here's a liner to right. Mookie Betts picks it off for the first out.
India had a lot of those drop in last year, the rookie of the year, but that line drive right there to Mookie Betts, helping out Walker Buehler to a fast start. Get a good jump, read the data correctly, get yourself positioned, and this ball starts to turn a little bit, but Mookie plays it perfectly.
For the first out of the night. And it brings up Tyler Naquin. Strike one. Now Buehler in that first start against Colorado. Four-seam wasn't what he usually is. At about 94. Last year averaged 95, 96. There's a curveball, which was also notably used less. Only threw 4 of those in the thin air in Denver. So you figure anytime you're in Denver, it's going to look a lot different than anywhere else.
If you don't land the first few in Denver, sometimes you'll abandon it, especially as effective as his slider was there in Colorado.
Home with an 0-2 goes up with a fastball taken for ball one. 96 that time. Other thing that was a little different from him, we saw more two-seam from Walker Buehler than normally do. Just what felt best for him on that day. Another curve sliced in the air to left center field. No big deal for Chris Taylor. 2 up and 2 down for Buehler.
6 pitches, 2 curveballs, definitely a different ratio than he had in Colorado, and Colorado will do that to any pitcher.
Center fielder number 27, Jake
Walker
Frazier.
here today didn't get as many swings and misses in Colorado that he normally does, and part of getting a swing and miss is changing speeds, and if you don't have your curveball, that's going to be hard to change speeds. It's going to be more about left and right to get that swing and miss. I think we're going to see more of that here tonight.
Also, by the way, little did we know then, Rockies world beaters, National League best 4-1. Strike one on Jake Fraley.
Small sample, Joe.
That's
Sample.
still small. Fraley in his first season with the Reds, over from the Seattle Mariners in the trade that sent the Wink and Eugenio Suarez about a month ago.
Wink can swing the stick.
Still swinging the stick up there in Seattle.
Wink might end up being a DH someday.
Yeah.
His defense is not always the best.
Buehler home with a 1-1. That's foul, and it's 1-2.
Looked like a little two-seamer there at 92. Had a little tail on it, fading away from the left-handed hitter. Also could have been a very firm changeup, kind of a la Zach Greinke.
1-2. Fouled off. This is a Reds team that over the first 5 games of the season hitting just 199 as a group. Highest strikeout rate in baseball. Again, just 5 games, but David Bell's club with a lot of new faces, a lot of question marks. Another 1-2 pitch. And a soft bounce at his second, where Max Muncy draws the start tonight. And Walker Buehler on 11 pitches retires the side in order. The Dodgers come to bat for the first time. It's Betts, Freeman, and Trey Turner when you come back. First 4 games and 7 innings, and they had 4 home runs over the last 10 at-bats yesterday.
It was fun to watch. They were all barreling it up and getting it over the wall. All left-handed hitters except for one, Austin Barnes, with 2 games played and 2 home runs.
Yeah, the Dodger leader with those 2 shots. It's Betts to lead off, and then Freddie Freeman, who figures to get a great hand here in his first at-bat at Dodger Stadium. Trey Turner and Justin Turner. Muncy out of the 5 spot at second base. Will Smith catches, and then at the bottom it's Taylor Bellinger, and in his first start with the Dodgers, Hanser Alberto. An opener for the Reds, Luis Cessa, came over from the New York Yankees last year, and so figures to be a quick spurt from him. His first pitch of the night is a strike on Betts.
Cessa's had 2 relief appearances as he faces Mookie Betts here to start the game off. One was 1 inning, one was inning and 2/3. He's had 3 days rest as he faces this Dodger lineup.
In the to right center field, Tyler Naquin for the first out of the night. Here comes Freddie Freeman.
First baseman, number 5, Freddie Freeman.
Back-to-back multi-hit games in Minnesota, and now he gets to come home and gets to do what he signed up to do, and that is play in front of his friends and his family. Orange County native, suite full of them tonight. He goes after the first pitch and rips a base hit through the box.
Get the ball, get the ball.
He's going to run out of room at some point. So Freddie Freeman now 7 hits as a Dodger. 5 of those 7 hits have come to the opposite field. It's what he does.
Intimidating hitter, one that knows the strike zone, hits for power, doesn't chase, understands what a pitcher's trying to do to him, and can find some holes.
1-on-1 out for Trey Turner. And for Trey, this is his first opening day in a Dodger uniform as well. Obviously acquired at the deadline last year. Cuts and misses at the first one from Cessa. And Trey, no matter where he was last year, put up good numbers. At Dodger Stadium, though, .357. One hit in all 5 games this year. That's extended his hitting streak to 24 games back to last season. Swatted to right center, make it 25. Freeman's going first to third. They've got him cornered just like that.
The hitting streak continues, and boy, this first and third situation was brought on by that base hit from Turner, but also the great base running from Freddie Freeman. Look at the read there. A lot of guys will freeze, not continue on, maybe go halfway and only make it to second. Freddie read it perfectly. Secondary lead, good break, good read on the ball, and cut the bases perfectly. You don't have to be fast to be a good base runner.
You know, it's one of the things you talk to people around the Dodgers, and obviously he's a great hitter. Obviously he's a good guy. But things like that, you really start to appreciate when you're around a guy every day. And everybody with the team's talking about how good a base runner he is. Justin Turner takes a first pitch slider for a strike. No score here in the first inning. A chance for Turner to change that the way that he did yesterday. Back-to-back games, he's driven in runs with an opposite field single. Like Freddie Freeman, he has lived the other way. 4 of his 5 hits to the opposite field. Good block there by Stevenson, and the count evens 1-1. You mentioned that hitting streak now 25 games for Trey Turner. Longest of his career, longest in baseball currently. An offense that came to life in the cold in Minnesota with 14 runs in 2 games. Looking to strike quickly here. The 1-1 is cut on and miss.
Justin kind of raised the bar for himself last April with what he can do early in a season compared to his past pedigree. The best April of his career, really. The power was in April and the power was in September. In between, he was his normal Justin Turner, but boy, did he have an April.
Dodgers have been the best 2-strike hitting team in the majors over the first week. 2 strikes on Turner here. To your point, Oral, first 12 years of his career, he had 3 home runs before the 1st of May. Last year, he had 6 home runs before the 1st of May. Cut a bunch of weight, hit a bunch of bombs. 1-2 pitch.
I'm just glad they don't do that no dairy diet for announcers.
Yeah, you wouldn't handle that one well.
Miss the ice cream.
You could still do the almond milk though.
Yeah. That's an old joke. Yeah.
Singles from Freeman and Trey Turner. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Justin Turner. Sessa comes home and he fights it off over India into center. It's another 2-strike hit, and the Dodgers strike in the 1st inning as Justin Turner drives home Freddie Freeman.
Barrels are overrated, and that handle kept that bat together. If that bat breaks, I'm not sure it clears the infield. Some good wood on that, enough to clear. India, look at that, right down by the label. It's a wedge you can win the Masters with.
All 3 hits come into the opposite field for the Dodgers in this 1st inning. All smiles early on. And a chance now for Max Muncy. His first home run of the year was one of those 4 yesterday. And, you know, even though it's been a rough go of it in terms of the average, you blink and he's reached in 7 of his last 10 plate appearances because of the thing that always buoys him even when the average is low, and that is the walks. On a 1-0 pitch, watches a change for a strike. 1-1.
You're always intimidating when you understand a strike zone, and then when you couple that with Max Muncy's power, sooner or later he's going to unleash that bat and connect.
He thought he had gotten one earlier in the game, but on a cold and windy day he hit it way up there and it was caught in front of the wall. Pulls it sharply by India into right field. Naquin was very deep. No chance to even think about Trey Turner. Throw goes into second. It's 2-0.
They are picking up right where they left off from Minnesota. The 2-game sweep there. The offense exploded. They were doing it with home runs there. Here they're doing it with hitting it hard and finding some holes.
4 consecutive singles.
One hopper through the infield, and no matter how good the data is, when you hit it that hard, you're probably going to get it by somebody unless it's right at them.
Well, we mentioned that Luis Sessa is an opener. This is not going to be a long outing already. The guy that we figure is going to handle the bulk of the innings, Reiver Sanmartin, has started to warm. Down in the red spin. First and third again, still just 1 out. Here comes the catcher, Will Smith, who hit it harder than anybody on the Dodgers on the opening road trip.
The numbers don't show it, but you really don't worry about him. His approach has been outstanding, barreling the ball up. If you're into exit velocity, that's what Joe is referring to with the hit it harder than anybody.
He averaged a hard hit ball.
Wow.
95 is considered hard hit. He was 95.7 on average over the first 5 games.
That's really hard to do. You think if you have a topper off the plate and it goes out at 40 miles an hour or something.
Especially when there's only a handful of batted balls to make the data.
Right.
Two in the bank already. 2 on with 1 out. And a 2-0 count for a dangerous hitter in Will Smith. Here comes Sessa. Fouled straight back.
He was looking for something up to drive in the air, and he got something, just missed it. Still, the count is in his favor.
That's what he does better than anybody. Elevated fastball. How many times last year did we see him, somebody try to sneak one by him and hit it 430 feet?
He is short and quick to the ball, and especially on that one up.
On a 2-1. He hits a big bouncer left side. Farmer charges, and it scoots under his glove. Muncy dashing for third, no throw. Everything coming up Dodgers here in the first inning. It's 3-0.
Farmer coming in from shortstop. Moustakas moving across, and all of a sudden, once the ball gets under Farmer's glove, there is no one at third base. And what happens then? Good heads up running. Will Smith hustling out of the box, gets the base hit, and Muncy gets the third.
You got base hit on that?
I got base hit on it.
I'm with you. And so does Ed Munson, and he's the only one that matters. The official score tonight, that is 5 consecutive singles.
Paper cuts, but they're working.
Death by a bunch of them in this first inning. And now Chris Taylor out of the 7 spot. Yeah, to the part of the order that shined for the Dodgers on the opening trip. 7 through 9. Best in baseball over the first week. Taken high, 2-0. We're talking about the bottom of the order. Take a look at the New Balance Fearless Approach. There were some days where the top of the order did nothing. Really, yesterday was the first day where the top of the order carried the team. Prior to that, all about the bottom. Different times with no pitcher down there. 2-1.
No Gavin Lux at the bottom, which was the major production down there in the bottom of the order. But, he's getting to rest a little bit. Maybe not for the whole game, though.
He sure looked good, didn't he?
He looks completely different to me. Just confident. Looks like the confidence just oozing out of his body.
On a 2-1, Taylor watches it spin low and away for ball 3.
Face a lineup that has this much power and this many good hitters, and then they showed discipline and spit on a pitch like that. After all the good fortune the Dodgers are getting with all these singles, now you're buried in a 3-1 count.
Muncy at third, Smith at first. 3-1 to Chris Taylor. Is sit sharp to short, could be 2. Farmer, India, high throw, but pulled in by Votto. And that ends the inning. But the Dodgers get 3 runs on 5 consecutive hits. The first one coming from Freddie Freeman. First game at Dodger Stadium wearing that uniform. And he wasted no time getting his first knock and bringing his fans and his family to their feet. 3-0 after 1. Freddie Freeman with a hand in that. Walker Buehler goes back to the mound. If Dodger pitchers strike out 10 hitters today, Oral, do you remember what everybody gets?
Jumbo Jack.
That's right. Do you remember where they get them? Jack in the Box. Just
Jack in the Box.
Sorry, too many questions for game 1.
I thought you were thinking like what area. I was going to have to go into all the areas.
Well, there actually
all
is
the
a specific
LA area
there,
restaurants.
Yeah. So you got it. Still got it. Like riding a bike.
No spring training.
Jeez. Right to Jack in the Box. 2-0 on Joey Votto. Leading off this second inning.
EK was pretty excited to get back to LA to get his Jumbo Jack.
He was fired up about that, yeah. Joey Votto's coming off a huge resurgence. Now 38 years old. He's in his 16th major league season. He crushes this ball down the line, and it's a double to lead off this second. 36 home runs last year, was 4th in the National League. He was 5th in OPS. It was his best season since he was the MVP runner-up in 2017. Even though he missed a month early with a thumb, corresponded with a change in approach as he's continually evolved as his career has gone on. And now in his 16th season, he's as good as he's ever been.
16th season, probably about his third or fourth stance, and now he's so erect out there as far as he looks like he's with a tailor who's measuring him for a suit and pants. His feet are so close together.
Tyler Stevenson here takes a ball. For Votto, the resurgence came last year, but it actually all started in 2020. August 25th, 2020, when for the first time in his life, he got benched. Reds were at Miller Park in Milwaukee. He was 0 for his last 15. That night he strikes out 4 times. So he's now 0 for his last 19. Stevenson off the end of the bat, right center field. Betts makes the play for the first out. So David Bell says, look, I'm giving you the next 3 days off. Joey says, Skip, I'm completely insulted. And he was not happy. Once he gets over it, he says, okay, I'm going to completely reinvent who I am as a hitter. And he spends the next 3 days in the batting cage. Who knows what he's doing back there. But he comes back out on August 29th. When he steps in the box, he's unrecognizable. He's like you talked about. He's completely erect. Wiggling his hands a little bit. He takes this huge leg kick and homers on his first swing. Aquino fouls it off the hands. No balls, 1 strike. Since that day, August 25th, 2020, Joey Votto has the 3rd highest slugging percentage in the National League. Bryce Harper, Fernando Tatis Jr., and the reinvented Joey Votto. Said he'd gotten too obsessed with putting the ball in play. That's a great concept, right? It's a great thing to try and do. Aquino swings and misses, 0-2. But that it had gone too far, and he was trying to be too perfect. Lost his ability to do damage. And it's not that he's chasing a launch angle like some hitters are probably guilty of. He says that may be a byproduct of what I'm doing. I may launch the ball, but everything I'm doing, the launching comes from everything I'm doing. I'm not trying to do it. Aquino swings and misses. Buehler has his first strikeout. And 2 gone in the 2nd inning.
Working the outside part of the plate with some breaking balls. A good slider right there. Walker's got the full repertoire working here. Recording outs in the 1st inning with 3 different pitches. His sinker, his curveball, and his changeup. Will Smith behind the plate's having to use all his fingers so far. They're not in any rut as far as pitch selection.
2 gone for Moustakas. Takes ball 1. It's one of those things where, you know, early on in Buehler's career, there would be people that say, you got to narrow it down. You don't need 8 or 10 pitches. But time and again, he's proven why it's a good thing to have that many options. We were talking about it in Colorado, how he went to the 2-seam. Curve kind of went out the window, yet he still has a full bag of tricks because he has so many options. And on a given day, chances are 2 or 3 of them are going to be working.
And he's a scientist. He's a tinkerer. He has kind of honed in a little bit on each pitch, like saying this is going to be my curveball grip, this is going to be my slider grip, but he still likes to experiment.
Ground ball right side, diving stop made, but it pops out of Muncy's hand. Votto anchored to 3rd. Stays 3-0, but the inning kept alive.
3 Dodger fielders on the right side of the infield. Max in appropriate position to field this ball, just couldn't finish it off as he tried to excavate it from his glove. Yeah, just the bare hand gets the fingers, the ball starts to rattle around, and then there's no chance. And fortunately stayed close enough to keep Votto at 3rd.
And so 1st and 3rd with 2 away for the former Dodger, Kyle Farmer. Who would have thunk it? From the 3rd catcher for the Dodgers to a utility man for the Reds to the everyday shortstop. And he put together a breakout season last year.
Cut a lot of weight, so he get out from behind the plate. He really worked on his hip flexibility to help him as a catcher, and it not only helped him as a catcher, it helped him with his first step and his range, and was able to move out into the infield.
2 balls, no strikes. And you know, he said that he always looked at himself as a shortstop playing catcher, even though the reputation became anytime you go out in the field, he was a catcher playing the infield. Now, this guy was a really good shortstop coming up, a 4-year starter at shortstop in the SEC at Georgia, And he's been given that opportunity again in Cincinnati. He's ahead here 3-0.
Well, he's done a lot for his career in Cincinnati, showing that he can play every day, that he is a baseball player. You're not going to say one tool or one thing that he does is exceptional, but as far as well-rounded and a good teammate, Kyle Farmer is that.
And good against this pitcher. 4 for 8 against Walker Buehler. 3 of those 4 hits are doubles. Votto at third, Moustakas at first. Farmer takes ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Designated hitter number 16, Colin Moran.
The Reds had to pitch through a lot of paper cuts from the Dodgers singles as they put 3 runs on the board. Walker Buehler, when he got 3 runs last year, a 13-0 record.
It's part of a career year for him. 16-4 overall and a 2.47 ERA. Faces a 9-hitter Colin Moran. Here's one of those situations that seem just about every night where it's like, oh yeah, boy, pitchers don't hit anymore. Much different scenario. Facing the 9-hitter who drives the first pitch foul. Just no breaks anymore.
No, you just no chance to breathe. No say, oh, I'm going to pitch the 8 guy tough. I'm going to make him chase my breaking ball or the fastball up. And if I lose him, I'll get the pitcher. No thinking about strategy. Are they going to pinch hit for the pitcher or not? Just another hitter stepping up.
1-1 with nowhere to put him. They give up the 2 runs in 5 innings in Colorado. Both those runs came in the second. The Reds threatening in this second inning. Votto started it with a double, and Moustakas singled, and Farmer walked. Good change, 1-2.
Dodgers got Walker a 5 spot in the 4th inning to get him that victory in Colorado. This game started off a little bit better for him, getting that early support, and now trying to get him in the dugout.
In front of the home crowd for the first time in 2022. They're trying to urge him on as he fires the 1-2 to Moran. Way up there.
Not what he was looking for there. Wasn't competitive enough to set up the 2-2, whatever he was thinking. So pretty much a fresh count now. As far as visually for the hitter and what could possibly be coming.
Bases loaded, 2 gone, 2-2. It's a chopper right side. Easy play, Max Muncy, and they leave the bases loaded. To the bottom of the second we go. Opening day at Dodger Stadium, 3-0 LA. Ultra strong stats. Best records in home openers since 2008. Dodgers behind the Detroit Tigers, believe it or not, but a chance to even things up with them. Looking for their 12th win out of the last 15 seasons in home openers. Off to a good start. They lead 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. And already Raver Sanmartin comes into the game. Friday against Atlanta, he was a traditional starting pitcher, and he struggled. He gave up 5 runs in 2 1/3, 4 hits, 5 walks, and that 2 1/3.
He's a pitcher, and fastball will hover around 90 miles an hour. He relies on location, a little breaking balls. The changeup, though, is his best off-speed pitch. And in speaking with some of the guys from Cincinnati, he just really thought it was nerves. He's really a kind of guy that can command the baseball usually. So see what he can do here in Dodger Stadium with this big crowd on a home opener.
Faces Cody Bellinger, who watches strike one, and he's got to command it, right? He's 88, 89. He's not going to overpower anybody. And typically, coming up through the minors, he did. I guess you don't climb through the minors if you're not commanding and you're sitting 88, 89. 1 ball, 1 strike.
No Wade Miley, no Sonny Gray. Cincinnati Reds really in a rebuild situation.
Which is interesting in that in 2020 they were a playoff team. Granted, the expanded playoffs, but a playoff team nonetheless. Last year they were in contention, but then they made the decision to overhaul. I mean, they got 4 everyday players that they shipped out. They have 9 pitchers on this roster. Sanmartin, one of them, with less than a year of service time, and they weren't that far off. A 3-1 to Bellinger is on the corner, and the count is full. And it's not like they're in a division that's a monster. It's not like they couldn't see a way forward to compete in the division. So an interesting move.
Well, their salary is now around $115 million, where in comparison the Dodgers are bumping up against $300 million. They really cut a lot of salary, and they cut a lot of production out of their offense. I mean, the 4 guys they moved represented approximately about 40% of their offense between RBIs and runs.
So they lost Nick Castellanos in free agency. He went to Philadelphia. We mentioned they traded Winker and Suarez. Winker was an all-star. Suarez second in the majors in home runs the last 3 years. I know he wasn't good last year, but still a legitimate player who's done some big things. You can count on him probably being better than he was last year. Bellinger pulls it by India. Encouraging stuff for him coming off the 2 hits yesterday, including his first home run. And he rips this single on the 8th pitch of the at-bat.
It's not high velocity, but it is up in the strike zone, and he gets on top of it. It doesn't pop this up at all. It's about waist high, and Cody hits a one-hopper, just eats him up and gets that base hit. Last day and a half, he's felt pretty good about himself in that batter's box.
He's been on base now 9 of his last 15 plate appearances. Hanser Alberto making his first start for the Dodgers. A 29-year-old from the Dominican Republic who has become a clubhouse favorite very quickly. He's only had 1 at-bat. It was a pinch hit appearance in Colorado. But everybody, to a man, loves this guy who just brings such positive energy every day. Doesn't stop talking in the best way. And starting in the 9 spot today. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got a little Juan Uribe in him. Strong young man, and there are things they say around the island. You don't walk off the island. Well, this guy does not let anything pass.
Yeah.
It's rare that he just took a ball and didn't swing the bat.
This is Gandalf. You shall not pass. Most aggressive hitter in the majors the last 3 years. And a 1-1 from Sanmartin. He bounces it foul. You see a lot of guys that are aggressive who don't make a lot of contact. He is the aggressive hitter who also makes a ton of contact. The 3rd lowest strikeout rate in the majors the last 3 years.
Some bat the ball, real ability. Dangerous hitter to pitch to. You don't know if he's going to be able to hit it from his nose to his toes, but he'll find a way to get a bat on it.
Here's a 1-2 in the dirt. Count evens 2-2.
How do you set a guy up that if it's anywhere close, he's swinging?
He's a career 276 hitter. As you know, in this day and age, that's a high average. That includes a season where he hit 305 in a full-time role for the Orioles. He's got Bellinger at first and waits on a 2-2. Pulls it into left field. Aquino will make the catch. It kind of caught him. Either way, it's the first out.
That's a nice at bat for your first one in Dodger Stadium. Something to be proud of, a memory, but he'll want a hit later in the game.
Number 50, Mookie Betts.
Runner at first, 1 gone. Up comes Mookie Betts, who yesterday, before the game in Minneapolis, felt like he found it. That back foot, the key for him. A subtle tweak that you wouldn't even notice if you made a side-by-side comparison of the Colorado series versus the game yesterday. But he ever so slightly pivoted that back foot, and he said, while it might not look like anything to anybody else, to me, the way that it feels is huge. Foot had kind of drifted where he was feeling closed off, like he couldn't pull the ball with authority. Now he feels like he's right where he needs to be.
Instead of that back foot being neutral, like if you were pushing it up against a wall, it's slightly toe forward.
And we're talking like centimeter, if that.
But what it can do as far as that motion, it can give you a different feel of where the weight is in your back foot. And you know, if the weight is in the inside part of your back foot, closer to your big toe, the ball of your foot, it's going to be easier to fire that hip.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to him. He takes it low and away. He said that it had drifted to the point where he wasn't seeing pitchers as well. He wasn't seeing breaking balls as well, even hanging pitches. He felt so closed off that he wasn't seeing them the whole way and kind of stumbled into this adjustment and pregame cage work. And then his first at bat up there thinking, okay, I might have found it. His hardest hit ball of the year, a double that he ripped into the left field corner. And if you think back to his time in Boston and the beginning of his time in LA, it's like, oh yeah, there was a lot more of that. There was a lot more damage down the line to left. On this 2-1, he pulls it to short. Farmer will go to second for one, and they turn a double play. The second one over the first 2 innings, turned by Cincinnati. After 2, the Dodgers lead at 3-0. Five straight singles in the first inning, producing 3 runs for the Dodgers. We go to the third, and they lead at 3-0. Home opener under the lights. Walker Buehler won 1-2-3 in the first inning, got out of a bases loaded jam in the second, and now sees this Reds lineup a second time. Back at the top, Jonathan India, reigning Rookie of the Year, takes a first pitch breaking ball. One.
Hard stuff kind of went away from Walker as far as the command in the last inning, but the off-speed stuff has been outstanding. He's 10 for 10 as far as the curveball, the changeup, and the slider, throwing strikes.
When he eats India up 1-2.
A good heater on the hands.
There's a 1-2 pitch. India digs it out, base hit into left field. So leadoff single for Jonathan India. And we are joined now by a guy you might have heard of. Where's number 22 for the Dodgers? Clayton Kershaw. Happy home opener, Clayton. Appreciate you taking some time for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, quite a day yesterday. I know that you've already gone over this. We've already covered it, but we got to ask. 24 hours later now, your perspective on everything, how it went down, and yeah, just your take.
Yeah. Joe, do you have an opinion? I feel like everybody else does. Let's hear your opinion.
Some strong ones out there, aren't there?
There are some strong ones. You know, I mean, I woke up this morning and was like, man, it would have been cool to do, no doubt about it. And if I was a fan at that game, I would have wanted to see it happen too. But at the end of the day, in the moment, with what's all going on and everything that's happened to me in the last 6 months, and being the first start of the season, it was just the right call. And it's tough to say that, but it really was. And hit and run. Nope.
Throw down, and you got a good eye, Clayton. Do this play-by-play thing.
Yeah, that was a great tag by Trey right there.
Sure was. Clayton Orrell here. So the decision was made to protect you the rest of the year and the rest of your career. How did you come out of it? How you feel today?
Yeah, it wouldn't have made much sense if I felt bad, right? No, I feel good. It was great to be back out there. It'd been a long time, so I'm thankful for that. And yeah, I feel all right. It's good to be back in some good weather, that's for sure.
Yeah. We don't need added perspective how lucky we are to call this home, but coming off those 2 games, it's extra nice being here, isn't it?
This is the best. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That was. I did get to throw well up there yesterday, but I'll tell you what, the combination of like the turnaround, like they all got to sleep about 1 a.m. and they had to show up to the field, you know, at 8 or 9, and then 12:10 game Central Time, and then being like 40 degrees and windy. I had some good combos for some hitters not being quite awake yet, so that was great.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Naquin, down and away, 2-2. You know, all the controversy, whatever you want to call it, aside, you had to feel really, really happy about yesterday, right? Coming off of not knowing where you were going to be, not knowing how that arm was going to recover, and having the results be that.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to tell me that in January I was going to get to start the season on time and be ready to go and get to win my first game out there, I would have taken that in a heartbeat. So it was special, man. It's always special to get to go out there and pitch for the Dodgers, and yesterday was no different. It was a lot of fun.
Speaking of special, how special is opening day here at Dodger Stadium? The ovation, the family picture, everything you got to experience and not really have to be the guy on the hill at the home opener. Yeah,
it's great. I love watching Walker pitch. It's fun. He can entertain us. We can just sit back and enjoy. And my family, too, you know, they flew out today and get to be here for opening day. And it's special for everybody. My wife, Ellen, loves it. Kiddos love it, so it's a lot of fun. That's going to be a problem.
That is...
Oh, he swung. He went all the way around.
Too.
Let's go, Jim.
Ball 4. And so Naquin's on here.
27, Jake Fraley.
Okay, yeah, so father of 4 now.
Yeah.
You guys keeping up okay?
Small brood. Yeah, we're doing great. Ellen's amazing, just with everything that she's doing, and she's traveling with them too. And so it's awesome. We're going to try and figure it out while school's going on, and then they'll be out here full time in the summer. So it's been great. It's been we definitely have our hands full, but Ellen's awesome.
So I guess kind of the lockout had to be a little bit of a blessing in disguise for you. Then you got to spend some extra time home with the new baby, right?
Yeah, there were so many blessings about the lockout. Just to get my elbow healthy and not have to think about, when I was going to play or where I was going to play. And then, Chance was born in December, so we got an extra month at home to try and get him sleep trained a little bit. And that's huge. I'll take that any day.
Hey, is Charlie playing yet?
Charlie's playing. Charlie and Charlie Freeman actually are playing a little bit of baseball in LA together. Wow. So that's pretty fun. And they're with Turner McDaniel, Brandon McDaniel, our strength coach. They're all on the same team. And
that's not fair.
I haven't gotten to see it yet, but I'm excited to go watch. It'll be fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
Don't you watch the videos? Somebody's got to be video.
Yeah. So they're doing like this machine, and if they can't hit the machine, then they put it on the tee. And so my Charlie and I are really working on that machine right now, trying to figure it out.
That's right. Yeah. You never want to face the guy they bring in, coming in throwing 99, right? You get to the next time. You don't want that.
That's right.
Get the starter.
That's right.
Speaking of machines and BP, are you going to miss hitting? Because we're going to miss watching it.
Man, I'm going to miss taking BP, Oral. That's probably the only thing I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss taking BP. I'm going to miss facing the other pitcher. Those are the two great things. Hitting in the game is a little bit more challenging, but I'll tell you what, when you're pitching and in a rhythm of the game, and maybe things aren't going as well, to be able to kind of break it up and go hit was kind of nice, honestly. But we'll get used to it. And obviously for our team, with the amount of good hitters that we have, it's a huge advantage. Like, we get to hit JT at DH tonight. It's just awesome.
Well, that was another way for you to beat the opposing pitcher, because you were so good with the bunting and the hitting and putting it in play.
See how many foul balls I can get, Oral. That was the goal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Freely sends one in the air to right. Mookie Betts drifting back on it. No big deal, Clayton.
We're good. All right.
Mookie Betts has it 2 out. Hey, so you called the stolen base a minute ago. You think you'd ever do any broadcasting? Like, is there any chance down the line once you get to spend time with family?
Easy, Joe.
Man, I don't know, Joe. Is that an invitation?
Yeah, come on up anytime.
I don't think there's room up there for 3. Let me see.
We'd make room.
I'll move.
Make room.
I kind of like the inning guest appearance. I think this is
right.
better. I
In
think
and out.
I'd run out of stuff to talk about. Right now, you're just asking me questions. If I had to talk about the game, it'd be a little bit more challenging.
I think you could talk a little baseball.
All right. Well, this one right here, I think Joey hit a cutter pretty hard in last time. So let's see if he goes away a little bit more here. What was that? Change
that
up
was
away?
a change up away.
Yeah, there we go.
Have you watched baseball before?
A few times.
You got the job.
Yeah. Clayton, good to talk to you. Continued success, my friend.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Stream out-of-market regular season games or on demand, plus MLB Big Inning and select pregame and postgame coverage. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
How you feeling about the walk-up song for Freddie Freeman? His son chose it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Vaya Conmigo. Dance with me in Spanish. He told Kirsten that he's hoping that folks dance to the song as he comes up. His son Charlie likes trumpets and trumpet sounding sounds in the song. First pitch to Freddie is down and away, ball one.
Those were real trumpets. Those weren't just
those were real?
sounding. Yeah, those were real trumpets.
Okay. Something sounds like
trumpet
trumpets.
impersonators.
Yeah. 2-0, Kirsten.
Well, Joe, when it comes to Freddie Freeman's walk-up song, you said it. His son, Charlie, he picked it up. But this is the second year he's done it. So he allowed him to pick it out last year. The conversation was, once you're old enough, you can do it. And of course, Charlie's reaction was, well, Dad, I'm ready now. And so it's always been a Latin-based artist. It's his favorite music. It's based off of some of his favorite players around the league. And so when it comes to Freddie, he loves it that his son is picking out these songs.
Yeah, Charlie Freeman told his dad that Acuna is his favorite player, and so Acuna has the Latin music, and last year he chose for Freddie some Bad Bunny, and apparently they get their own walk-up songs in their little league, and Charlie's using Bad Bunny for his walk-up song. 3-2.
Amazing the impact that big leaguers have on little kids, and then even big leaguers own little kids.
Yeah. Freeman had a base hit on the first pitch that he saw. His first time up there on a full count pitch here. He fouls it off. We'll do it again. Got a full family there. And he said this has been, not just great having family here to support him, but it's almost been like his return to Southern California and his signing with the Dodgers has galvanized his family. Like so many families the last few years, not seeing each other as much. And he said this has been the occasion to bring everybody together. First time in a long time.
Dodgers have done such an amazing job of not only bringing uber talented guys to the organization, but uber gentlemen and character.
Rolled it to first. Votto will feed the bag for the first out. Freddie's been called the friendliest man in baseball. A lot of that comes from the conversations he has down at first base. It seems like anytime somebody gets down there, he's got his arm around him, he's smiling, he's talking to him. As Freddie says, I know how hard it is to get a hit in the big leagues. If you get down to first, I'm going to let you know. That was awesome. Great job. Nice hit. And he says he also tries to be mindful of any significant milestones or events. If it's a debut or a first hit, he tries to be on top of those things. Ball one on Trey Turner.
If I was his teammate, though, I would learn not to look over there then. Because I did not like when my fielders were hanging out, a little affluent or congratulating the guy who just got a hit off of me. So if somebody got a hit off me, Freddie's playing first, I'd probably be looking over at the third baseman talking to him.
Look the other way and let him hit 320.
Yeah.
And 2-1 on Trey Turner.
Nothing worse than, giving up a few RBIs. The guy who hit a double off of you is standing on second base. You turn around, you see a couple of them having fun with him, the shortstop and second baseman, and now here comes the manager to get you.
Bounce at a third. There is Moustakas to get Trey Turner. It says once or twice a game, too, somebody wants hitting advice. And he says, I'm happy to give hitting tips all day long. I want everybody to succeed. This is the kind of guy Freddie is. And everybody says that he's the same guy no matter what. 4 for 4 or 0 for 4. The friendliest man in baseball.
He did an awful lot of interviews when he put the Dodger blue on. And he was on MLB Network, ESPN, everywhere, all the local networks, our network. And just getting to know him through interviews, kind of fall in love with him. He's quite a guy.
Ball one on Justin Turner.
He talks about his father and his grandfather now getting to come, and the whole process of hearing that they traded for Olsen in Atlanta. I'll tell you what, he handled it gracefully, and he came home.
And that was the thing. As soon as the door closed on his preferred thing, and that was staying with the only organization he's ever known, going to come home. Turner singled home the first Dodger run in the first inning, came in to score one of those 3 runs. There's another opposite field hit for him. 5 of the 6 hits he's had this season have been that way. San Martin deals, and Turner golfs it to right center field. Tyler Naquin and the catch. First 1, 2, 3 and into the game for Reds pitching. Through a 3-0. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Feed your happy at Carl's Jr. and earn double stars on any purchase in the app. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. Jaime Jarrín honored before first pitch, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. No better guy. Tyler Stevenson leads off this 4th inning for the Reds. Takes ball 1 from Buehler. Stevenson flied to right his first time. Swings and misses here, and it's 1-1. Stevenson, one of the guys getting an opportunity because of the way they're overhauling the roster. Started to get that opportunity last year in a timeshare with Tucker Barnhart. Barnhart traded to the Tigers, and it's Stevenson's job now. He had an impressive rookie season as really the second catcher and the backup first baseman to Joey Votto. He had 286. He had 10 home runs. The 11th overall pick of the draft in 2015. Takes a strike, and it's 2-2. Full count.
Walker's recorded 9 outs, 4 of them with his changeup. He's picked up right where he left off last year. That was an effective pitch for him too.
High fly ball left center field. Chris Taylor has it spotted, and Stevenson the first out of the 4th.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans at Dodger Stadium tomorrow when the Dodgers host these Reds and receive a Jackie Robinson jersey commemorating his 75th anniversary of becoming the first African American to play in the major leagues. Brought to you by UCLA Health. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions or scan that QR code on your screen.
Maybe the 2 most special regular season days at Dodger Stadium of the year. Back-to-back days. The home opener and Jackie Robinson Day. No balls, 1 strike. And Aristides Aquino, the lone strikeout victim of Buehler so far. Aquino on the season is now 1 for 14 with 10 Ks. Not even close. 1-2.
Working that outside corner against him, walked him off the plate in the last at bat. Seems to be staking right there.
Got to do it again, right? I mean, no shot.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need to set a hitter up if you see a big enough hole and you don't see him making an adjustment.
Aquino's the guy who hit 14 home runs in his first month in the majors. That was August of 2019, but he has struggled to find it since. And this nightmare start to 2022 continues. 1 out of 15 with 11 Ks.
A little lower release point on that slider, kind of a frisbee, so it stays in the strike zone a little bit longer and then has that side-to-side break. Did not go for the depth like the pitch before. The slow-mo cam will show you how he worked around that ball.
Two up, 2 down, 4th inning. Up comes Mike Moustakas. Curveball, which we've seen more from Buehler than we did at Coors Field.
Love it when he can go down to 79 miles an hour with that pitch and stay up around 96 with the fastball.
1-1. Because the changeup is not a real change. It's 92 still. The real changeup is that curveball.
It's more of a BP fastball. With a little bit more dance to it.
It's as much of a barrel misser, a bat misser, as it is change of speeds.
The four-seamer and the cutter a lot of times looking to get in on the hands of a hitter, especially a lefty, and then the changeups used to work away from them and get off the barrel, get on the end of the bat.
Home of the 1-2. It is a change, and it gets Moustakas swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts, so 1-2, 3-4. Best coverage in the game. Let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam here at Dodger Stadium. High 60s temperature. Comfortable night. And a great crowd on hand as the Dodgers open their home schedule. Never gets old, does it?
No, and it's great to see all those Dodger jerseys in the stands. Great fan base, and wow, they really support the blue.
Max Muncy had an RBI single in the 3-run first inning. He takes strike one here from San Martin. On base 8 of his last 11 plate appearances now. Two and one.
It's amazing about Max. It happens to a lot of hitters. When you have aches and pains or an injury you're coming back from, or even one that you're nursing, it makes you a little anxious. But he's able to have gone through some of these pains and injuries and kept his discipline. And he doesn't get anxious. He doesn't commit early. He still reads the pitches and understands the strike zone. And that takes a lot of discipline.
Fly to center field for Jake Fraley. Muncy the first out of the 4th.
San Martin is just putting a little on, taking a little off. It's not exceptional velocity, but he's moving the ball around. He's changing speeds, taking the sting out of the Dodger bats.
Raver San Martin. He's out of Colombia. Turns 26 years old actually tomorrow. So happy early birthday, Raver. Former Ranger farmhand, former Yankee farmhand, who was acquired with Sonny Gray in 2019. And then made his debut at the end of last year. Started 2 games, won them both, and had a 1.54 ERA. Part of the reason the Reds were willing to start to turn things over, start to trust some of the young players like San Martin, who brings a 1-0 to Will Smith and is in there with a change. Reds have won 5 world championships. Last one was in 1990, and they've only won 1 playoff series since then. It was 95 division series against the Dodgers. Even though it seemed like for a decade there in the early 2000s, they were always at the top of the Central. No success once they got to the postseason. Into the shift goes Smith. There's India, and there's out number 2. Six straight retired by San Martin. Actually 7 straight retired by San Martin. And here comes Chris Taylor, crowded into a double play his first time.
Chris Taylor, the All-Star. It's really got a nice ring to it. He deserves everything he gets as far as recognition. When you're moving around the field, playing 6 different positions, about 60 defensive innings each, at least. He is a Swiss Army knife.
He said early on in his career of bouncing around like that, he fell into the trap of trying to just survive at all those spots, as opposed to really having the mindset of trying to be great everywhere. But as he's gotten more comfortable and as he's got a more solid foundation as a big leaguer, right? He's not looking over his shoulder anymore. He's been able to work really hard at all the spots and approach it a little bit differently. Don't just try to be adequate. Don't just try to not make a mistake when the ball's hit to you. And it's kind of come full circle because he's pretty much the everyday left fielder at this point. He's back into a position that he's going to play most days.
Boy, we've seen him make some nice catches in left field going into the gap. He's using his wheels and not afraid of walls.
On a 1-2 from San Martin, he fouls it back. One I always think about is the championship series in 2018 in Milwaukee, to basically save that series. Running into the gap, using that speed. Remember, this is a guy who had never played outfield before the Dodgers started playing him there in 2017. And to center field, Jake Fraley. Another 1-2-3 inning for Ravers San Martin. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers and by Mito Lotto. Download the new Mito Lotto app to order tickets for this week's big lottery jackpots. Scan the QR code for a free ticket. Love the introductions on opening day along the lines and the flyover. We got a couple of them. I think they arrived a little bit early and swung back around, but yeah, twice as nice.
They didn't expect the LA traffic in the air to be so smooth.
Strike one on Kyle Farmer as Walker Buehler goes back to work.
I love the introductions as they introduce almost like half the organization, all the way from Scott Akasaki. Takes care of the travel for the Dodgers, the clubhouse guys.
Bellinger retreating in center field. Ball carries pretty well. They put it away on the edge of the track. It's nice for those guys that never get the recognition to get some.
They're behind the scenes, but they are really a big part of the team, and the players will tell you that. And it's going smoothly off the field and in the locker room, and with the travel, it's going smoothly on the field.
Scott Akasaki. Stud.
Yep.
Travel director.
You trying to get a suite or something on the road?
Scott Akasaki, Mike Trout of travel directors.
You trying to get bumped up to first class.
Should be promoted to commissioner of baseball and
commissioner of
president
travel
of the United States and all that stuff.
Wow.
Also, cover a GQ kind of guy.
Oh God.
I mean, if there are any suites, you know, if there's any left.
Extra.
Yeah.
After Clayton and Andrew and everybody else.
0-2 on Colin Moran. For real, though. He, I mean, you know much better than me, but for a player to have a guy like Scott Akasaki as the travel director, so many things you don't have to worry about because he does.
Scott took over from a legend from my generation, Billy Delury. And Billy was an outstanding traveling secretary. And I met Scott in the USC parking lot. It's where he started. He was an intern, and I came back to the Dodgers in 2000, went to the USC workouts after coming back, and introduced myself to Scott. And he later has told me, he's like, oh, really? He just wanted to know why I was driving such a cheap car. Tell him later it was a rental.
Jonathan India takes a strike. When you first said he started out in a parking lot at USC, I'm thinking, man, that is a tough upbringing.
He was reserving the parking spaces there close to the ball field for the players that were coming for the workout.
One ball, one strike on India, who's 1-2 today. Big rip and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Walker Buehler has struck out 3 of the last 4 hitters. He's retired 7 straight. Facing his favorite club growing up in Kentucky. It's about an hour from Cincinnati, where he grew up. India goes up to get this fastball and hits it foul. You know, Bronson Arroyo and Edinson Volquez and Johnny Cueto and those guys. Those were, especially Bronson Arroyo, those were Walker Buehler's favorite. Another 1-2 pitch. The thing about Bronson Arroyo that Buehler loved most was how reliable he was. 8 out of 9 seasons. Bronson Arroyo went 200+ innings. Walker Buehler did that for the first time last year. And all those great numbers for Buehler last year, he says that was the one he was most proud of. The first Dodger pitcher to exceed 200 innings in 6 years. It's where the game has gone, but there are still those rare few. Walker Buehler, one of them, that gets to that mark. Off the end of the barrel of India. Bare hand play at third. Alberto not quite in time. Not only is he a guy that puts the bat on the ball, hits for high average, he can play all over the place, and he's above average wherever you put him defensively.
A do or die attempt, and he almost did. It's well done. You're not going to get it there much quicker.
Number 12, Tyler Naquin.
Did everything he could. India beat it out.
Second hit for India. Training staff's out to take a look at him.
A little extra effort to get to the bag just in time. Sometimes you stretch your hamstring out a little bit. Get a little pull. They felt it. They're going to take him off.
Oh.
Let's watch the last couple steps, see if he extends. No. He didn't reach for the bag, but he definitely felt something there on the back of his right leg.
Horrible. For Reds offense struggling to get going, one of their top players leaves the game. Reigning Rookie of the Year.
Entering the game for Jonathan India, number 22, Brandon Drury.
He's replaced by the veteran Brandon Drury, just picked up by the Reds a couple weeks ago. Reds down 3-0, and now without their leadoff man and second baseman. 2 gone here in the 5th. Tyler Naquin. Flied out in the first inning, walked in the 3rd. He shows bunt and takes a ball. One on one. The 1-1 pitch, low and inside, ball 2. Walker Buehler in his first start of the season in Denver last week, 78 pitches. He's exceeded that now. And your normal progression is 10 to 12, 15 pitches more. Let's see where he goes tonight. Slicing fly down the line to left. Long run for Chris Taylor. That's Souvenir.
I could see 90, 92 or so, maybe. Get him a batter in the next inning. It's not only the pitch count, it's the ups and downs. And Dave Roberts and Clayton Kershaw talked about that as far as yesterday and the 7 innings of perfecto that Clayton threw. And just the cooling down and then warming up process for your arm and your body. It's a little more wear and tear the deeper you go in, and you have to build that endurance. I'm sure they'd like to get Walker one more up and down. Also like to get him out of this inning.
Softly hit. Buehler cuts it off and throws him out. Halfway home in the home opener. Dodgers up 3-0. Well, the Dodgers with a 3-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th. They did it with 5 consecutive singles in the first inning. Just one other hit besides that 5-batter run. 8-9-1 coming up here in the 5th. Cody Bellinger has the lone hit since the first inning. There's a lefty-lefty single. Takes a breaking pitch low here. He's reached in 9 of his last 14 plate appearances. Showing more and more signs of life. Said he feels like right now he is in a place where he's not as mechanical. He's not thinking about his stance and where his hands are, and not thinking about the mechanics of the swing. He's thinking about competing. He's thinking about what the pitcher's trying to do to him and reacting. On a 1-1 pitch. Watches ball 2.
Got a ball near the middle of the plate, slightly up around the belt, and put a pretty swing on it in his last at bat to drive that ball 1 hop through the infield. He earned all of that hit.
Takes one in the corner. 2-2.
You can make all the changes. You can feel good in the cage. And when you start getting results on the field, that's when the confidence starts to pile up.
The old classic chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
Chicken, egg, or hits? The answer's hits. Leading off this 5th. Chasing one way out there. First strikeout of the game for Reds pitching.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans at Dodger Stadium on Saturday when the Dodgers host the Reds and receive a Legend of Dodger Baseball bobblehead. It's a Maury Wills, sponsored by Bank of America. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions or scan the QR code on that screen of yours.
Sam Martinez retired 9 straight, now faces Hanser Alberto, the son of a sportscaster, Tony Alberto. And we're talking about how much he talks because the apple didn't fall far from the tree there. Bounces this one to third. Soft hands Moustakas. A teammate of Hanser's when he's coming up to the minors nicknamed him Radio. That stuck with him coming up to the Rangers system. His dad tells the story of when he was in kindergarten. When Hanser was in kindergarten, he went in for parent-teacher conferences, and the teacher says, "Look, he's a good student. He's a good friend. He's nice to everybody, but he just will not stop talking." And Dad says, "Oh no, I'll talk to him. Just can I ask, what is it he's talking about?" The teacher says, "Baseball." He shows up and he's talking about baseball. I start teaching and there's Hanser talking about baseball. Lunch hour, baseball. That's a strike on Mookie Betts, and his dad Tony tried to hide the smile. You know, he's proud of his boy talking baseball.
Yeah.
Well, Holman said, "Hanser, you got to tone it down during class. It's great you want to talk baseball, but there's a time and a place." It's an opposite field base hit for Mookie Betts. His first knock of the night keeps his 5th inning alive.
First baseman, Freddie Freeman.
Mookie smoked it to the shortstop the last bat. Boy, right there, looking very comfortable at the plate when you talked about that back foot adjustment in his last at bat. It's one thing to be able to stay on the ball away. It's another thing to be quick enough to turn on the one inside. And it looks like he can do both now.
2 gone for Freeman, who takes ball 1.
Back foot adjustment, slightly toe forward, probably shifts a little bit of the weight to the inside of his back leg, which would release those hips a little bit on the backside, be able to turn, but not losing his balance and losing the outside part of the plate.
Kurt Struve taking it right into his spikes. One of our superstar cameramen. So good to have back. Dodger baseball back here at Dodger Stadium.
I think he's been 39 years in that camera well.
Wow.
Shooting some of the best with some of the best pictures.
Freeman singled and scored in the first inning, bounced out in the third. Chops this one to Kyle Farmer. 6 at 4-3. And that's the inning. We've played 5 at Dodger Stadium on the strength of a 3-run first inning. It's 3-0. Walker Buehler goes back out there for the 6th inning, pitching with a 3-0 lead. The 3-hitter Jake Fraley watches one just miss. 1 ball, no strikes. One and one.
Every one of Walker's pitches is exceptional, so it's really hard to pinpoint one and really start to compliment him, but he's had a hammer tonight. When he's thrown that curveball, he's had a real good idea where it's going, and even when it just misses, it's got tremendous break.
Roller to second. Max Muncy fields it and throws Fraley out. And now word from Ford.
This Dodgers broadcast is brought to you by the 2022 Ford F-150 truck and your Southern California Ford dealer, where the future comes standard.
One gone here in the 6th. Now Joey Votto.
Talked about the change in Joey Votto's stance through the years, 16 years in the big leagues, and look at where he is now. He's got the feet almost all the way together. Used to be pretty much in a crouch, spread out.
His reaction taps it back to the mound.
The new stance is for power, but I don't think he got into that one.
No.
His feet used to be shoulder width apart, a little bit farther, deep knee bend. That little check swing, just a little PFP for Walker Buehler.
Trying to finish off 6 scoreless. 2 gone. Here's Tyler Stevenson, who's 0 for 2. Last time Buehler faced these Reds last year, they ruined his start day routine. He had the same routine that he put together over the previous few years, and then the Reds lit him up, and so he changed everything. Used to be he'd go car wash, Chipotle. He'd get to the stadium, he'd make 1 loop around the stadium and then pull into the lot, listen to the same heavy metal playlist every time. Car wash, Chipotle, loop, heavy metal, dominate. Rinse and repeat. And then the Reds light him up for 5 runs. Mariners lit him up for 4 runs. Scrapped the routine. 7 shutout innings the next night. And he hadn't gone back to that car wash, Chipotle, loop, heavy metal.
What did he go to? Dirty car, no food, straight into the parking lot?
That's right. Dirty car, hungry, and straight in. Ooh, 3-1. Yeah, you get in the eye.
Yeah. Becoming a surveyor out there on the mound. Like, where was that one? Electronically, it was ball 2.
And a walk.
TOO2. That's ball FOUR.
Well done. You still got it, buddy. Can still spell.
Thank you.
Bryson Hudson. Aquino Visit from Will Smith. Are they buying time to go to the bullpen? While they buy time, a word from Morongo.
Morongo is calling. Good times.
All right, no budge yet from Dave Roberts. Looks like Buehler's going to get Aquino, who has struck out both times, and this season is 1 for 15 with 11 strikeouts. He has stood no chance against Buehler's slider tonight.
There are some fans probably at home going, okay, 92 pitches for Walker Buehler. Why couldn't Clayton Kershaw stay? And he only had 80. Well, every pitcher is at a different place of ramping up. Walker pitched in October. Clayton was hurt and had to rehab most of the winter.
Quickly 0-2. Buehler 78 pitches in his previous outing. Kershaw had gone 65 pitches in his previous outing, which was a spring outing. Now an 0-2. High fastball makes it 1-2.
Walker has doubled his swing and miss amount here compared to the Colorado outing where he only had 7 swings and misses. He's got 13.
Get out of that thin air where the ball breaks a little better.
Better fastball command today. The slider's still sharp, which was the tool he used mostly in Colorado, and then he's had a good curveball and a good changeup tonight.
He's got 4 Ks, 2 of those against Aquino. Yeah, maybe looking for one more here to finish off his night.
He's got him with 2 sliders before. He's got another K with a curveball, 1 with a change.
Slider not close enough.
Same pattern in the last at bat. He tried to bury a slider low and away and then came back with kind of the frisbee slider from a little lower angle. A little more altitude on that one, trying to make more side to side movement compared to making it go straight down. That one just came out a little early, and so it didn't get as much break as he did in the last at bat, where he kind of frisbeed it to the outside part of the plate and struck him out.
Now that previous pitch, 89, was charted as a cutter. They changed the speeds on the slider.
High fastball.
2-2. Turns it around center field. Bellinger back, turns and watches it go. And this is a different game as Aquino hits a 2-run home run. Spoiling the stellar night for Walker Buehler.
Yeah, Dave Roberts probably going to come get him, and it's going to leave a bad taste in Walker's mouth. He was dominant throughout the night and went to the well for the fastball instead of the place where he was drawing a lot of water with the sliders away. Sometimes you just can't set up a hitter that is a dead red fastball hitter. Can't sniff your breaking ball. Didn't bite on the last breaking ball, but bit that fastball.
And that does it for Walker Buehler. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the SoCal BMW Centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Jack in the Box. Try Jack's $5.99 popcorn chicken combos with 100% all-white meat chicken and Jack's Good sauce. Order now on the Jack app or have it delivered. Walker Buehler, frustrating finish to his outing. 5 2/3 scoreless, and then a 2-out walk to Tyler Stevenson and a home run from Aristides Aquino. The lefty David Price for the left-handed batting Mike Moustakas. Second appearance for Price. He faced 2 hitters on Tuesday night. Walked one of them, retired one of them. Brings a 1-0. There's a strike.
So many pieces in the Dodger bullpen for Dave Roberts and Mark Prior to play matchup when the starter leaves the game. And David right here just trying to end this inning. This left on left situation.
And that left on left situation Dave Roberts is seeing is with Moustakas, who last year was 3 for 35 against left-handed pitching. Didn't get many opportunities, and when he had them, didn't do much with them. Price steals 1-2.
I like the off-speed stuff with the shift. You know, the fastball and a 2-strike count, you might get the emergency swing. You only have one fielder, Trey Turner, on the left side for the Dodgers, but 3 fielders on the right. Sticking with the off-speed stuff, you're probably going to have Moustakas hit right into the data. Trying to get him out in front, roll over right into the defense.
Another 1-2 pitch. There it is, right to second. Max Muncy throws him out, and David Price comes on and retires Moustakas, but the Reds on the board with a 2-run shot from Aquino.
Here's Walker Buehler makes his first opening day start of his career and earns the victory over the Rockies. And 8-time All-Star Craig Kimbrell is acquired in a late spring training trade and picks up his first save as a Dodger on opening day. Don't miss an all-new Backstage Dodgers tonight, presented by Cadillac.
Bottom 6, Dodgers 3, Reds 2. Dodgers got all 3 runs in the first inning. The Reds getting 2 in the 6th. And here's Trey Turner. Dodgers had 5 consecutive hits in that first inning. Turner had 1 of them. How about the job Raver Sanmartin has done, though? At first it was like, okay, he's kind of steadied the bumpy road. And here he's keeping him in the game. I mean, this is a guy who gave up 5 runs over 2 1/3 in his season debut against Atlanta. He's given up nothing.
Pitching more like his minor league resume, where he was pitching in and out, up and down, changing speeds, taking the sting out of the bat.
Is 1-1 to Trey Turner. Cue shot. Foul. Between AA and AAA last year, the 25-year-old out of Columbia was 10-2 with a 3.31 ERA and some good hitting down there at the AAA level. So those are particularly good numbers. Came up at the end of September. Got a taste of the big leagues. First opening day roster here in 22. Home with a 1-2. Bounce to third, Moustakas. Wide throw. Votto calmly comes across the line and snags it. It's an art.
Oh, you can just throw anybody over the first base. Easy place to play. No, it is not. There is so much footwork and so much timing over there. When to stretch, how to stretch, read the ball, make the play.
Got a Gold Glove on his resume. One gone for Justin Turner, who takes strike 1.
Gold Glove, MVP, 6-time All-Star. Pretty good player down there.
Pretty good career. And we say Freddie Freeman, the friendliest man in baseball. They've said Joey Votto, the most interesting man, and the most interesting conversation in baseball. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Turner. There was a great piece in The Athletic a year or 2 ago about some of the conversations people have had down there. See Trent Rosecrans, Rustin Dodd, Jason Jenks. got together on this article. Sometimes Votto's conversations will be about the game, but more often than not, they're about something completely unrelated. Turner down swinging, 2 gone in the 6th. They'll sometimes just pepper the guys with questions like, who's the coolest guy on your team? Who's the funniest guy on your team? Sometimes about politics, sometimes it's about music, sometimes it's about his home country of Canada. To Stephen Piscotty one time, he said, hey, so you went to Stanford, right? Stephen's like, yeah, that's cool. Joey Votto knows where I went to school. You were an engineering major, right? Yeah. Strike on Muncy. Okay. How do you apply engineering to hitting?
That's great.
He's like, well, I guess I'll have to think about this. To Andrew McCutchen years back, he said, you know, man, if you try really hard, I think you could be an MVP someday. 2-1 on Muncy. It seems everybody's got their own story, but they all agree. Joey Votto, the most interesting conversation in baseball. 3-1 on Max Muncy.
I use this word as a compliment, but he is eccentric.
Uh-huh.
But I use it in the most complimentary manner because he is the most interesting man to talk to.
Wow, look at this shift. Muncy right now is cursing 2022 and can't wait for the shift to be banned. 3-2 game after 6. 3 in the first for the Dodgers, 2 in the 6 for the Reds. Here we go to the 7th inning, and here we come inside the broadcast booth. Hope you're having a great night. Hope you're enjoying this home opener as much as we are. It never gets old, does it?
No, not at all. And it's beautiful. The fans are enjoying it. Not so much the home run by the Reds to make this a tight game, but it does make it more interesting.
Hey, it's great to have you back.
Thank you.
Missed you.
Really nice.
Love being with EK. Great to have you back in the fold. Going to be fun to have Jessica Mendoza, Dontrelle Willis. Been great watching Dontrelle in studio. Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
It's a strike on Kyle Farmer.
Nomar and Jerry. Got quite a crew.
So up to the Dodger bullpen to try and hold this thing.
Don't forget John Hartung either. What does he anchor the pre and post game show really well?
He is a stud, man. He is so good.
Yeah. I don't know what he can give us compared to Scott Akasaki.
He can't get us a
come.
suite on the road, so we can just stop with the John compliments.
Can give you a golf lesson. He's a good golfer.
Farmer against Buehler, walked and flied out. 31 years old in his 4th year in Cincinnati. There were 7 players in that deal before 2019 that sent Farmer to the Reds. He's the only one left with either the Dodgers or the Reds out of those 7 guys. You got Alex Wood, who's a key piece there. He's obviously with the Giants now. Matt Kemp out of baseball. Yasiel Puig hitting bombs in Korea. Dodgers return was Homer Bailey, who's out of baseball. Jeter Downs, who was flipped as part of the Mookie Betts deal. And Josiah Gray, who was flipped as part of the Scherzer and Trey Turner deal. Farmer down swinging, 1 gone here in the 7th.
You know how we used to say Yasiel Puig must watch TV no matter what's going on?
Yeah.
He's must watch Instagram.
Yeah, right.
Follow him. You just never know what's going to happen, but he is hitting bombs.
That's 5 strikeouts, 5 more, and everybody gets a free jumbo jack. You don't have the KBO. You don't have KBO TV.
No. Wrong time zones for my body clock.
Instagram's for all time zones, though.
Yep.
I know you're hitting the gram all hours.
Oh, yeah.
Ball 1 on Colin Moran.
I got hacked the other day.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. What does that mean? You've made it?
Yes,
you get hacked.
Yeah.
Then, like, you know, at 63 years old, it was like, how do I do this 2-step authentication to get rid of this person?
Man.
And I got to take a selfie. And Got to turn left, turn right, look up so they know it's me, and then, okay, we've got you back.
Blink twice if it's you.
Yeah.
Moran out of the 9 spot. He's 0 for 2 today. First year in Cincinnati for him. Longtime Pittsburgh Pirate. On a 1-2 from David Price. Climbs the ladder, flips it into shallow center field where Trey Turner waits for it to come down. 2 away.
Second baseman, Brandon Drury.
Back to the top of the order where the Reds would love to have the reigning Rookie of the Year Jonathan India there, but he left the game with a hamstring injury. And so the first at bat of the night for Brandon Drury. The veteran has bounced around. He was huge off of the bench last year for the New York Mets, and now in his first season with the Reds. One and oh.
A lot of times those borderline pitches, low or high, when they're in the middle of the plate, you get them. It's one of the things that Major League Baseball is looking at with the possible electronic strike zone. The strike zone that is usually called at the big league level is more the shape of an oval instead of a rectangle, where the closer you get to the 4 corners, those pitches become a little bit more 50-50 with umpires. But the ones that are borderline low, borderline high, and catch a lot of the plate, those get called.
Three and 0 on Drury. Tyler Naquin due next. 3-2 game in the 7th. Price got the last out of the 6th inning. He's retired the first 2 here in the 7th. Falls behind Drury 3-0. And Drury attacks it, trying to tie this game.
Back in my day, I was leading the Cincinnati Reds 1-0. Fell behind Nick Esaski 3-0. And had a very good game going. I think it might have been a no-hitter into the 7th, and Nick swung at a 3-0 fastball and base hit. And Rick Monday told me when I got back to the bench, I go, what's he doing swinging 3-0, 1-0? Because he's trying to tie the game up.
That's what Drury tries to do here. Bellinger to the track, to the wall. It's tied at 3. Brandon Drury off of the bench because of an injury. First at bat of the night, hits a home run, and it's even at 3.
2 out, nobody on, 1-run game. The hitter, no matter what power level they're at, they are looking to tie it up. Looks like he catches a changeup right out in front. You get him out front, but it's still enough power and timing to get it out of here to center field.
All 3 runs for the Reds on 2 out home runs. So back at square one here in the 7th. Price comes home to Naquin. 1 ball, no strikes. Side spinning pop-up. Turner ends the inning. We're back where we began, all tied up as we stretch home opening day. Brought to you by your Lexus dealers. A lot of this came in the first inning. 5 consecutive singles for the Dodgers. Run scoring hits from Turner, Muncy, and Smith. They only have 2 singles since then. And it's now tied at 3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. New pitcher comes on for the Reds after great work from Raver Sanmartin. This is Hunter Strickland, who resurfaces with the Reds. This is his 8th team in 9 seasons in the majors. Of course, Dodger fans know him mostly as the longtime San Francisco Giant. He's on to face Smith, Taylor, and Bellinger.
Big arm still. It'll be around 95, 96. Mostly fastball slider. Come right at you.
Pitcher number 16, Will Smith.
It's a Reds bullpen with a lot of new pieces. Their top 4 pitchers in terms of appearances last year no longer with the team. But that's okay when you look at what they did last year. They had a 5 ERA out of the bullpen, so an area they've tried to address. Smith 1 for 2, drove in the 3rd run in the 1st. First pitch spins into the knees, strike 1. '60th anniversary of the opening of Dodger Stadium. 61st opening day here. They celebrated the opening, the very first opening day against these Cincinnati Reds. Reds beat Johnny Padres on that first opening day. Sandy Koufax that got the first win. Game 2. Look out. 2-1 on Smith. Talked about this a little bit during the road trip, but it was a race against the weather to get Dodger Stadium ready for that first opening day. It's one of the wettest winters they've ever had around here, and whole surface washed away like a month and a half before the season. And it stayed wet, kept raining. Opening day coming. What are we going to do? Pop fly right side of the infield, Joey Votto. And Smith is the first out of the 7th. Walter O'Malley brought in a couple helicopters and had him just hover over the surface. His wings whipping, just trying to dry it out. He got a Air Force jet engine, put it on the back of a pickup truck, and they ran the engine while they drove the truck around the field, blasting heat, trying to dry the grass as best they could, and got it as dry as they could doing that. What they couldn't cover up, they used green spray paint on and got the field ready to go for April 10th, 1962. Some Band-Aids and green paint. They had baseball. Tied up in the 7th as Taylor climbs in. Pulls a liner to left. Top spinning down. Aquino can't get it. Taylor thought about it. He'll hold off. Back to first with a 1-out single.
That hit makes them 3 for their last 19. With no runs, they need to push some across now that the game is tied. Little jam sandwich for Chris Taylor that turns out to be a nice lunch here as a base hit.
Last time Chris Taylor was in this ballpark, 3 home runs. A few games before that, the walk-off home run in the wild card game. Since then, a new contract. Be a Dodger for a long time. He's aboard for Cody Bellinger. Ripped a single his first time, and then chased way off of the plate to strike out his second time. And a tie game in the 7th. Cody Bellinger takes very high, ball 1.
Cody's starting to feel better at the plate. Home run here would take that confidence and have it really blossoming. Looks a little more hitterish when he climbs into the box.
Isn't that amazing? As he stops thinking about how to be hitterish, it allows himself to be. That is zen. 2-0.
Just kind of staring off at Dino Evil. Just kind of not a blank stare, but just that focus. Shoulders are a lot more relaxed. Just the body language seems just like he's playing. It's like, okay, I'm a baseball player.
Like the Beatles said, let it be.
Yeah.
Like Elsa said, let it go. 2-0. Ball 3. Hanser Alberto due next, out of the 9 spot. Justin Wilson in the bullpen.
Case Gavin Lux comes up. The cat and mouse here. Dave Roberts getting ready. See what David Bell does.
Justin Wilson is reverse splits guy, much better against righties, which is what is on deck in Alberto.
Green light right here.
For Bellinger, there goes Taylor as Bellinger fouls it off. He had one to hit. And Taylor had a good jump. Said he'll go back, and Cody will try again.
If there's a part of the strike zone that's in Cody's wheelhouse, it was where that pitch was. Out away from him, down below the belt, extend the arms.
Bellinger looking for another one to drive. Taylor leads off first. 3-1 comes home, and Bellinger takes ball 4. He's been on 10 of his last 17 times up there.
Feeling good and executing. You can start to feel good and get anxious to use the good feeling, the good swing, the good visuals, but he doesn't come out of himself, doesn't come away from his plan, takes a borderline pitch and gets the walk.
That gets Gavin Lux to the plate. David Bell's going to make a change and go to Justin Wilson. So he'll get the lefty-lefty matchup. Now, Lux not as good against left-handers, but we just mentioned Justin Wilson also not as good against left-handers. Here we go, 3-3, 2 on 1 out. Wilson against Lux when you come back. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Yeah, but the 2022 Ford F-150 truck and your Southern California Ford dealer, where the future comes standard. Tied at 3. Dodgers threatening as the Reds go to Justin Wilson after Dave Roberts sends up Gavin Lux, lefty-lefty, with a chance for the Dodgers to jump in front.
See if Justin Wilson can come out of the pen and command one of his 2 breaking balls, the slider and the curveball. When you go left on left situation, you're usually hoping your reliever can land the off-speed stuff.
Well, here's the reasoning for David Bell. Lux much better against right-handers in his career. Like we talked about, he's been a different guy so far this season. Big spot here. Swings and misses, strike 1. A hit in all 5 games of the road trip. A .353 average coming out of it. He hit his first home run yesterday. He's got Taylor at second and Bellinger at first. On an 0-1, Lux takes ball 1. Two on, 1 out, 1-1. Taken high, ball 2.
Taylor gets jammed. Cody works a walk. Now Gavin Lux in a hitter's count,
which he's found himself in a bunch over this first week. Back to that plate discipline that he showed coming up through the minors. Plate discipline that helped make him a first-round pick out of high school. On a 2-1 pitch, Lux fouls it off, and it's 2-2. There are the reverse splits of Wilson. The 2-2. Taken for strike 3.
He got in between. Probably some of the preparation was maybe 2-2. I'm going to see a breaking ball, so he blinks through a fastball near the middle.
Up to Betts with 2 gone. 1 for 3 tonight. Another hard hit ball to the pull side. Taylor at second, Bellinger at first. Betts jumps out of the way, and it almost got him. Ball 1.
Elbow pad, just misses it. You know, with the adjustment you talked about Mookie making with his back foot and the way he's looked in the first few at bats here, I expect something good here, something loud.
He's ahead 2-0. That count bodes well. Yeah, Mookie's so hard on himself. It's rare that you hear him talking about a change that he makes that he feels good about, or at least admits to feeling good about. So when you hear him talking about a change that he feels like might have unlocked something, look out. On a 2-0 pitch and a tie game in the 7th, he takes strike 1.
Two pitches near the middle of the plate. That one a little bit more inside corner, but Gavin Lux took the one right near the middle. That one right there, Mookie looked like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have taken that.
Betts watches ball 3. After Mookie, it's Freddie Freeman. Pick your poison.
Venomous lineup. Lots of poison.
That's trying to sting him. 2 on, 2 out, a 3-1. Strike 2.
They're having trouble picking Wilson up from the left side and from the right side with Betts.
Runners to get a head start. There they go. Here it comes. He swings and misses, chasing one in the dirt, and that is going to be one Mookie's going to lay up at night thinking about. Took a couple strikes, went after a ball.
On upcoming schedule here in April, the Cincinnati Reds have 3 games here left with the Dodgers. And then the Atlanta Braves come in for the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Take a look, make sure you see that that's Sunday.
Couple defensive changes for you. Gavin Lux, after pinch hitting, stays in and plays second. Max Muncy moves over to third. Hanser Alberto out of the game after Lux hit for him. First outing for Blake Treinen since things went south on Saturday when he gave up the home run to Connor Joe. Treinen back out there. Dave Roberts wanting to get Treinen and Craig Kimbrell both involved quickly in this series. Been a long time since either of them have pitched. In the heart of the order here, Jake Fraley takes ball 1 from Treinen.
The bullpen work can sometimes be feast or famine. And there's plenty of bodies down there and plenty of people who need to stay in a rhythm and get work, especially one of your key ingredients.
1 ball, 1 strike. Little bit up, ball 2. Fraley, a very patient hitter. Average was around 200 last year, but he had the 3rd highest walk rate in the American League. And so overall, he's an above-average hitter when you look at OPS. On a 2-1 from Treinen. Pulls a liner towards the corner, but foul. 2-2. Got under it, and in center field, Cody Bellinger will wait for it. All right.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans at Dodger Stadium on Monday, April 18th, when you'll see the Dodgers open the series with the Braves, and you'll receive a Will Smith first ever bobblehead sponsored by Budweiser. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions or scan the QR code on your screen.
Braves gave up 12 runs to the Padres tonight. Manny Machado went 5 for 6. Eric Hosmer went 4 for 5. 12-1 San Diego over Atlanta. Braves are 3-5. Joey Votto can't lay off. Strike one.
Joey will take the strike. It was close to the check swing dribbler that he hit back to Buehler right there.
He's really upset.
Keeping the feet together and having a bigger swing and stance, starting a little early, you get a few more check swings.
0-1. Loads up, takes the ball.
Does Will Smith dare start a conversation with Joey Votto?
I mean, careful. Wow, I mean, that is just unhittable.
You get a hitter like Votto that understands the strike zone to have 2 check swings on balls that are strikes about 60-70% of the way to the home plate. You're doing something.
That pitch being so hard to hit is why Blake Treinen and Austin Barnes are both kicking themselves Saturday night when they went with a 2-strike cutter instead. And Connor Joe hit it out to win the game for the Rockies. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Votto lays off the high heat. Pulled down the line, foul.
Incoming.
Look out.
Scatter. Almost turned right into it.
They've been practicing. Warmed up. 3 in the first for the Dodgers, 2 in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th for the Reds. Reds 3 runs all off home runs. 1 off Buehler, 1 off Price. Another 2-2 from Treinen, goes back to the fastball, and it's punch foul.
Joey shaking his head, trying to think along with Blake. What's he going to throw me now? Check swing, the 2 breaking balls in the dirt where he got the 2 strikes on me. He's trying to sneak the fastball by him. He's going to 2 places. He's going up and hard, or he's going low and soft. What's he going to do now?
Joey, who this season, for the first time in his 16-year career, changed his bat model. Goes and grabs a new one mid-AB here.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the type of pitch he's looking for.
Be taking it to another level.
Yeah.
Mid-AB. Takes high, count goes full. Eighth pitch coming from Blake Treinen to Joey Votto and that new bat. 3-2. Got him swinging.
Looked like a cutter that didn't cut. got away with one. Votto thinking high fastball, thinking maybe breaking ball down, but no, he gets a cutter, just doesn't cut. On a cement mixer, you can get that with a slider, and you can also get it with a cutter.
So Treinen wins the battle with Votto. Bases clear, 2 gone, and the hitter's Tyler Stevenson. 3-3, 8th inning. Home opener for the Dodgers. Major League best 58-23 here last year. And starting their 2022 journey in LA after the 3-2 road trip. 4 with the Reds, 3 with the Braves. A couple of close ones, but 2-0. Ball 3. Aristides Aquino at a 2-run home run off Walker Buehler is on deck. Dives back in there, strike 1.
Stress level gets amped up for relievers in these situations. Even 2 out, nobody on. If you're a starter in the 2nd inning, game's just starting, a lot of at bats coming. But now 3-3 in the 8th, 2 out. This is still stressful.
Coming inside, and it worked. Muncy at 3rd. Finishes off the 8th. Locked at 3 to the bottom half. 2, 3, and 4 coming up. Freddie Freeman to lead things off. The game brought to you by your Southern California Volkswagen dealers. Freddie Freeman, first pitch he sees at Dodger Stadium, wearing that uniform, base hit, came in to score. They've not scored since that 1st inning, though. Could he come up with a big swing here, leading off the 8th in a tie game? From El Modena to the big leagues. And the Dodger Stadium for the first time in this uniform. He leads things off against Wilson and ducks out of the way of one that got away.
Breaking ball just kind of slipped out of his hand. No intent there.
1-0. Freeman hits one to left center field, slicing to the gap. He'll split him. A leadoff double for Freddie Freeman.
Opening days are special. Home openers are really special. Get a double late in the game in a tie game. When you're back home in a new uniform in front of your family and a sweet, sweet swing. Sweet memory.
Sweet chant.
Yeah.
Chases Wilson from the game. He's going to fit in just fine. Powerful stuff. This is during the break. Freddie Freeman spent 12 seasons in Atlanta. He said, to be honest with you, I never thought I'd be anywhere else. His world was rocked when the Braves didn't come up with a way to bring him back. Decided to come to LA, and Dodger Stadium making him feel at home to the point of emotion after his first extra base hit as a Dodger. Just a powerful, powerful moment as they chant his name in his first game in this stadium, wearing their colors. He represents the go-ahead run. Nobody out in the 8th inning. The 3-hitter Trey Turner, who's 1 for 3 tonight, against Tony Santillan, the top reliever the Reds have. On the first pitch, he takes in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. You ever seen anything like that? Like all the context, first game?
No. I'm thinking of when Chase Utley went back to Philly.
Yeah, they're
Mookie got chanted when he was here.
Yeah,
but this was really special.
And to see it mean that much to the player, and for him to return the gesture.
They've adopted him in 6 games, 1 home game.
And his family's loving it. His biggest cheerleader, his best friend, his son Charlie. Charlie wants to see Dad come home. 2-0. Strike 1.
Everybody.
The number's on Santillan. Three games this season, just 1 base runner against him. Second-year big leaguer with a 2-1 pitch. Count evens up 2-2. Living on the corner at 96.
Fastball away sets up a breaking ball away right here if he wants to do it.
Park to right field. That's a base hit for Turner. Diving to stop it is Naquin, and Freeman comes home. Trey Turner drives home Freddie Freeman. The Dodgers lead in the 8th.
Outstanding piece of hitting from Trey Turner. The fastball away was laid on at 96. Probably knows he needs to protect. The breaking ball could come or another heater in the upper 90s. And what does he do? Keeps his hands back and just flicks it to right field. Sweet swing. And now you've got the fleet-footed Turner, and you've got the Freddie coming home.
Still nobody out. Turner now takes ball 1. Aren't there some fun moments, some funny moments, some shake your head and laugh moments where, for example, Trey Turner drives home Freddie Freeman for the Dodgers?
That's true.
Mookie Betts beat him in 18. They went out and got him. Trey Turner beat him in 19. They went out and got him. Freddie Freeman beat him in 21. They went out and got him. They now hit 1, 2, and 3 for him.
Thank you, ownership. Thank you, front office. Thank you, fan support.
It's 2-0 on Turner. The old guard had 3 balls, no strikes. Craig Kimball's ready to rock. He'll be the latest new Dodger to get a great hand.
Josh Bard running away to the phone. We're probably going to get somebody else up in case this inning gets out of hand for the Dodger offense, and they put a crooked number up there.
It's a strike, 3-1.
This is where it's a balancing act. Right now it's 4-3, but if it does stretch the lead at all, it's a balancing act on, I want to get my closer some work. But how much work do I really want to get him?
Turner takes his lead from first. Santillan comes home 3-1. That's ball 4 to Turner. Double, single, walk. The Dodgers get 3 runs in the first inning, nothing from the second through the 7th. But show up again here in the 8th. Max Muncy comes to the plate, still nobody out. Now I mentioned Dodger Stadium opened 1962, 60 years ago, April 10th. 5 days after that, on this date, it was the first walk-off win. So it's not, they hope, going to be a walk-off win, but a win with some late drama, perhaps. April 15th, 1962. They beat Warren Spahn in walk-off fashion. Lee Walls with the game-winning hit that day. 60 years later, on the same day, some late magic against the Cincinnati Reds this time. Trey Turner's at second. Justin Turner's at first. Max Muncy takes in the dirt, kicks away. There goes Trey. There goes Justin. Both Turners move up 90.
I wonder if there is somebody in this wonderful fan base that has been to all 61 opening days.
Oh my goodness.
Home openers at Dodger Stadium. It seems possible.
Mm-hmm. If so, Bill Plaschke's got to go find him.
And if there's more than one, he's got to interview them all.
If there's 100, Bill, I'm sorry. That's a load of a project. Well, one of them would be Jaime Jarrín.
That's true.
There he is, the legend.
Bill could find him.
Bill, yeah. Bill probably didn't have to scroll too far down his phone to find Jaime.
Still got the jersey on from throwing out the first pitch. Keeping warm.
Infield comes in, second and third, nobody out. Here's a 1-0. Muncy watches a strike. RBI single in the first inning. Fly out and a ground out since.
As a pitcher in this situation, you don't mind walking him and loading the bases because you get the force play at home. So with Muncy, he might try and tease him. He doesn't. Nice to hear Dieter play those songs when the guys are up there now.
Yeah.
Maxwell Silverhammer.
Good take. 2-2. Full count.
Quality at bat after quality at bat. The double from Freeman to the left center gap. The unbelievable slider away that Trey Turner picked on and got the base hit to right. Justin Turner works the walk, and now Max Muncy finds himself in a 3-2 count. What a gauntlet.
See how much he gives Muncy to hit here. First base open. Oh boy! Oh my gosh! Oh, got away with that, didn't he? Oh, wow. 4th in the majors in home runs since coming to the Dodgers. Here, a half-hearted swing and a miss, and he is the first out of the inning.
Catcher, number 16, Will Smith.
Second and third, one away, Will Smith. Couple big runs sitting out there at second and third for the Dodgers. Infield still pulled in, but now around for Smith to pull it. Takes one low. Craig Kimbrel continues to warm. Aquino, Moustakas, and Farmer due up at 6, 7, and 8. But Aquino has a home run tonight. The 1-0. Oh, look out.
He had one in his last at bat like that. It was closer to his hands, and we said, look out. This one's a little bit closer to the noggin. If that had creeped in any further, I'm not sure he would have got out of the way. See, he closes his eyes and almost gets ready for impact.
It's an intimidating opponent here. Tony Santillan, 6'4", 240 pounds. Imposing figure. Good stuff.
Looks 240 on a light day.
Yeah. 3-0. Got the goatee working is all part of the picture.
Like in Little League, and you're facing the guy that's just starting to shave. He's 12.
Strike one. Will Smith, in his career, runners in scoring position from the 7th inning on, a .345 hitter with an OPS above 1,200. 730 is league average. Second and third, one away. 1-run game in the 8th. Smith hits a ball in the air. Deep center field. Way back there. Off the top of the wall and gone. First of the season for Will Smith, and it breaks it open. 7-3 Dodgers. Wow, did it go wall glove out?
Yes.
Ping pong home run.
Fastball at your head. Get out of the way. Get to a 3-1 count after taking a 3-0 fastball near the middle. Get a breaking ball that stays a little lazy on the inner half and deposit it out there in the center field with a little help.
Big 8th inning for the Dodgers. 13 runs in the 8th inning over their last 3 games.
Watch this deflection. Great effort.
Boy, it's still that early season air, isn't it? Because that ball off of the bat was like, see ya. And it winds up pinballing its way out of here.
Number 3, Chris Taylor.
Ryan Hendricks comes on. Can breathe a little easier. 4th spot here in the 8th inning. Craig Kimbrel probably still going to come in. Again, Dave Roberts just wanting to get him in the game. It's been a week now, just short of a week. Taylor with a cue shot. It'll sneak its way through under Drury.
I think even if Drury comes up with that ball, Chris Taylor's speed, he beats it out. He was retreating towards right field as he chases this ball. That momentum taking him away, even with a slide and a pop-up. I think Taylor beats it easy. That should be graded a hit.
It is, and it's the second of the night for Taylor. It's the fourth of this inning, the 12th of the game for the team. Here's Bellinger. Single and a walk for Cody. Sharp ground ball, base hit. He's on for the third time. Taylor busting around the bag. He's at third without a throw. Here comes Cody Bellinger.
You know, Dodgers have found some holes, but it also is showing that the Cincinnati infield does not have a lot of range. Moustakas at third, with Drury now at second, Votto there at first. He's won a Gold Glove, but their first step quickness in their range is a little depleted.
Certainly miss India in that regard at second. He left the game with a hamstring injury earlier. First and third for Lux, who struck out in a pinch hit appearance. There goes Bellinger. No chance. No thought. The infield in. But the Dodgers, interesting game tonight. 5 hits in the first inning. 3 hits from the second through the 7th. And then 5 hits again here in the 8th. Third straight game they've played at 7. Chance for more though here.
The man next to Dave Roberts started it all off.
Hey, by the way, Earl, that is a stolen base there for Bellinger. It's his 3rd of the year already, which matches last year's total. Had the broken leg early, and so took that part of his game from him. Hamstring eventually. 2 balls, no strikes.
When do they call that defensive indifference? They just let him go.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how, it's tough because, like, how do you take a stolen base? Is it indifference as much as in this situation it's him just taking advantage of the defense?
Maybe. But there was just no attempt at all.
This one gets by and Taylor can walk on. It's 8-3.
Well, early in this game, Dodgers 3-0 in the first. Felt like they were going to walk away with it. The game all of a sudden starts to turn around with a 2-run bomb, and then another bomb from the Reds, and you've got a 3-3 tie. But now the final score is looking like it's going to look like it was a Dodger dominant game.
New season high in runs for him. 22 runs over the last 3. Series continues tomorrow. It'll be Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers. Good chance to see Tyler Anderson as well, same way he did last Saturday. Yeah, Vladimir Gutierrez Solid debut for the Reds last year. Lost his first start this year. Lux takes the walk. Saturday, Urias for the Dodgers and LA native Hunter Green goes for the Cincinnati Reds. Second overall draft pick a few years back out of Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame. Grew up coming to games here. Came to a game with Don Newcomb a couple years back. Got to sit with Nuke for the game. Pick his brain, became a mentor to him. What a moment it's going to be. His second career start is going to be at the ballpark that he grew up attending as a kid. First and third for Betts. And he brings the heat.
He sure does.
Hunter Green in his first start, which was against Atlanta on Sunday, averaged 99.7. He hit triple digits 20 times.
Like 102 sometimes.
Yeah. Remember, this is a guy who was considered one of the best shortstop prospects in the country, too, coming out of high school. On 0-1, Betts checks his swing, strike two.
I hope the scouts had him with an 8 arm from short. He can really go to the hole.
Yeah. Used to love watching Rafael Furcal make plays in the hole. This is his favorite guy to come to the stadium to watch. Bellinger at third, Lux at first. Betts behind 0-2. Here it comes. Pulls a line drive to left, base hit. There's another solid hit to the pull side for Mookie Betts. It drives home Cody Bellinger. The route is on. It's 9-3. I mean, these last 2 days, he's pulling the ball with more authority than we've seen in a long, long time.
Sure is. I mean, we talked about what we saw when he first came here from Boston. And the thing that impressed me most about when he would turn on a ball is that he could turn on a ball in off the plate as a right-handed hitter and hit it hard and keep it fair. And that approach now is starting to look like that swing.
Freddie Chancer back because Freddie's back. Got this whole thing started with a double. First extra base hit as a Dodger. The closest comparison I can think of would be the Scherzer debut here last year. We got the curtain call. But there's an added layer of emotion, it seemed, to this one. It was almost like this crowd of 50,000 said, we see you. We know that it was tough. We know and understand that Atlanta was the first choice. But we are so happy that you wound up here. And we're going to make sure that this feels like home. In an 0-2 hole. Swings and misses. Had a ball in the dirt. 2 gone in the 8th.
It looked like he was trying to do something special for the crowd right there. Kind of came out of his approach. You don't see him chase like that. 2 pitches in that at bat.
Trey Turner followed Freeman's double with a go-ahead base hit. Got 2 tonight. He's scored twice. This is his first multi-hit game. Lux at third, Betts at first. Trey Turner chases 0-2. Tried to get him to go after the same one, laid off this time. Another good take.
Don't look now. The Dodgers win this game, they'll be tied for first.
Look out.
It's early.
What's the magic number?
You got to get Krajewski on that one.
Yeah. Turner down swinging, and that's the inning. But how about the inning? 3-run shot from Will Smith, but the memorable moment from it comes from Freddie Freeman. Started it with a double. A bunch more came. 6 runs in the inning. And chance of Freddie, his first night in LA. Stick around. The guys will have the post-game show for you. John, Jerry, Nomar out in the center field plaza. They're hoping they're recapping a win. Certainly looks like it's headed there. 6 runs in the 8th inning. 9-3 Dodgers. And at some point it crossed over from being still worth getting Craig Kimbrel into the game because it's been so long to probably not the best spot for it. Evan Phillips comes on instead, and you'll have you'll have Craig Kimbrel completely fresh again tomorrow.
Yeah, and Kimbrel probably got enough throwing in as he watched the Dodgers score all those runs and said, you know, the phone call came down and said, do you want it? And he probably said, no, I'm fine. I got good work in. I'll be ready for tomorrow. Now, the other thing that can happen every once in a while is they can get him up with an out and then bring him in just for the very last out just to get him used to the mound here at Dodger Stadium. He's pitched on it plenty, but first time this year. No action in the bullpen.
Instead, Phillips for his 3rd outing this season. With 2 runs in an inning in Colorado and then 1 1/3. Nothing against him. No base runners against him. Timeout in Minnesota after the rain delay on Tuesday night. Aristides Aquino. The guy they call the Punisher. His older brother gave him the nickname when he was 12. It's already bigger than everybody else, and he absolutely punished baseballs. The Punisher. Signed out of the Dominican Republic 2011. Played 1 game in the majors in 2018. Didn't get his first real shot, though, until 8 years after he signed that contract. That was in the end of 2019. And he had that tear to begin his time in the big leagues. Goes down, gets his slider off the end of the bat. Gavin Lux approaches and throws for the first out.
Gavin made a sweet play, a little bit more difficult than that one right there. And Clayton Kershaw's 7 innings of perfection.
That was sweet, wasn't it?
It was. Same type of play right there where you've got to kind of read the hop and semi-guess the timing of the glove and get it in there. Make it stick. Throw them out.
Moustakas popped up in a silo. Comes down to Will Smith. And out away from a happy home opener.
Been a memorable day. The huge American flag, the national anthem, the 2 flyovers.
2 of them, right? Yeah, not just one.
Jaime Jarrín celebration, throwing out the first pitch for his last season. The Freddie chants, the Will Smith deflected homer.
Ball on Kyle Farmer. Now, most importantly, a win. Dodgers will move to 4-2. Reds will fall to 2-5 after winning on opening day. This will be their 5th loss out of their last 6. And again, same time tomorrow, different place though, Apple TV, as Tony Gonsolin faces off with Vladimir Gutierrez. We'll be back with you on Saturday night at 7:10. Urias for the Dodgers, Hunter Green for the Reds. And then it wraps up on Easter Sunday. Andrew Heaney tries to build off a very impressive first start with the Dodgers. Tyler Mahle counters for the Reds. That's a strike. Deep center field. No big deal. Game over. Season high 9 runs for the Dodgers, and they win the home opener by a final of 9-3.
Put on the home whites, put a W in the column. Now after the tough trip, especially the cold weather in Minnesota, home to beautiful Los Angeles with a W. Freddie, welcome to LA.
Says you, and says about 50,000 tonight, and so many more watching back at home. Dodgers move to 4-2. They take the series opener, the first of 4 against the Reds. 9-3 the final score. For Orel Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Again, Apple TV tomorrow night. We'll be back with you on Saturday night. For now, stay tuned. It's Access Sportsnet Dodgers. Have a great night. Talk to you on Saturday.